Welcome to this video on HR law in Kenya, covering essential legal aspects for human resource professionals. This video will focus on three key themes: Kenya employment law essentials, disciplinary and performance compliance, and ELRC case law and HR risk mitigation. We begin with the Kenya employment law essentials. The statutory framework defines employment relationships, rights, obligations, and enforcement mechanisms. It sets minimum standards on wages, hours, leave, safety, and protections. It also outlines procedural guidelines for hiring, discipline, termination, and dispute resolution. Core labor statutes include the Constitution of Kenya, guaranteeing fair labor practices. The Employment Act is the primary law. Other key statutes are the Labor Relations Act, Labor Institutions Act, Occupational Safety and Health Act, and the Employment and Labor Relations Court Act. Supporting regulations include the Work Injury Benefits Act, the NSSF Act for retirement benefits, the Social Health Act for healthcare financing, and the Data Protection Act for employee data. Kenya has also adopted various ILO conventions. Enforcement and compliance involves labor officers, inspection powers, and penalties for non-compliance. Employers must fulfill obligations like record-keeping. Employee protections include remedies for violations. Alternative dispute resolution like conciliation and mediation is encouraged. Contractual integrity is founded on mutual consent. Section 9 requires written contracts. Non-discrimination is mandated by Section 5, ensuring equal treatment. Fair remuneration is covered in Sections 5 and 17. Contract terms must comply with statutory minimum standards, and termination requires notice or a valid reason under Section 35. Breach is defined as the failure to honor contractual obligations. Unfair termination lacks a valid reason and procedure. Constructive dismissal is when employer conduct forces resignation. Disputes are resolved via internal mechanisms, conciliation, or court proceedings. Remedies include damages, reinstatement, and compensation. Employee rights include fair remuneration, a safe work environment, and leave entitlements. Employees have the freedom of association, protection from non-discrimination, and the right to due process before disciplinary action or termination. Employee obligations include performing work, obeying lawful instructions, maintaining confidentiality, and observing workplace rules. They must safeguard employers' property and report misconduct. Employer rights include the right to manage operations, set work standards, and protect business interests. They can enforce discipline and terminate employment following proper procedures. Employers also have the right to implement policies for compliance and order. Employer obligations include providing written contracts, paying wages promptly, ensuring health and safety, and granting leave entitlements. Employers must also prevent discrimination and ensure equality. Next, we will discuss disciplinary and performance compliance. Misconduct involves willful breach of rules, while poor performance is the inability to meet standards. Misconduct is deliberate wrongdoing, attracting punitive action. Poor performance reflects incapacity, requiring support and improvement plans. Evidence and corrective measures differ between the two concepts. Misconduct is categorized into gross and minor. Gross misconduct includes serious violations like abusive language, absenteeism without excuse, intoxication, willful refusal to obey orders, theft, fraud, or violence, justifying summary dismissal. Minor misconduct includes less severe breaches like lateness or improper dress code. Handling misconduct requires an investigation to gather evidence before taking action. The disciplinary process requires a formal hearing to ensure procedural compliance. Available sanctions include warnings, suspension, or dismissal. Employers must apply measures consistently, and employees have the right to representation. Managing poor performance begins with an objective assessment against standards. This leads to a performance improvement plan, including training support and regular review meetings. Employees must be given reasonable time to improve before termination is justified. Section 41 of the Employment Act outlines procedural fairness for termination. Requirements include prompt notification of allegations, the employee's right to a hearing with representation, consideration of the employee's explanation, and clear communication of the outcome with reasons and the right to appeal. The Section 41 process involves a notification stage detailing concerns, a preparation period for the employee's defense, a formal disciplinary hearing, a consideration stage by the employer, decision communication in writing, and an appeal opportunity within the organization. Common pitfalls include failing to conduct a hearing, giving inadequate notice, exhibiting bias, lacking proper records, ignoring the right to representation, or making rushed decisions. Adherence to procedure is key for compliance. We now move to documentation mastery. Documentation ensures accurate records to support decisions, compliance, and dispute resolution. It requires consistency, accuracy, legal compliance, confidentiality, a clear audit trail, and systematic retention and storage. Proper documentation is vital for legal compliance and evidence preservation in disputes. It assures consistency, promotes transparency, mitigates financial risks, and ensures audit readiness for regulatory reviews. Key documents include show cause letters detailing allegations, invitation letters for hearings, hearing minutes capturing proceedings, warning letters specifying consequences, performance plans, and outcome letters communicating final decisions and appeal rights. Best practices demand factual, unbiased records and prompt documentation after events. Confidentiality protection must be maintained. Consistency ensures fairness, and employee acknowledgement confirms receipt. All records must be retained according to legal policies. Our final section covers ELRC case law and HR risk mitigation. ELRC case law provides judicial decisions that interpret employment rights and shape workplace governance. It guides HR practice, identifies risks, sets compliance benchmarks, and encourages dispute prevention, minimizing financial risk. In Juma v. Telcom Kenya Limited, the employer lost because dismissal for poor performance occurred without warning, a hearing, or a performance improvement plan. The key lesson is that poor performance requires notice and an opportunity to improve. In Muga v. CCI Kenya Limited, the employer unfairly terminated a probationary employee without fair procedure or justification. The lesson is that probation is not a free pass, and basic fairness applies to all employees. In Omandi and 9 others versus Brava Food Industries Limited, the employer failed both procedural and substantive fairness. This case teaches that valid reasons and due process must be proven to justify termination. Case 4, Oyombe versus Economic and Social Rights Center, established constructive dismissal when the employer breached the contract regarding salary, benefits, and medical cover, forcing the employee to resign. The lesson is that serious contractual breaches can amount to constructive dismissal. Key ELRC principles include emphasizing procedural fairness and substantive justification. The burden of proof rests on the employer to justify termination. Courts prioritize employee protection, may order reinstatement, and apply the principle of proportionality in sanctions. Now we examine the cost of noncompliance. Noncompliance exposes employers to financial penalties and awards, reputational damage risk, operational disruptions, employee morale decline, regulatory sanctions, and escalating litigation costs. Financial consequences include compensation awards of up to 12 months' wages, legal costs, back pay liability for reinstatement orders, fines for statutory breaches, productivity loss, and high settlement costs. Reputational and operational risks include brand damage from negative publicity, industrial unrest, increased regulatory scrutiny, difficulty in attracting talent, and management distraction from strategic priorities. Legal and strategic risks encompass adverse legal precedents, exposure of policy weaknesses, an increase in employee claims, strengthening of union bargaining power, and general business uncertainty due to ongoing disputes. HR risk mitigation strategies involve developing clear policies, conducting regular compliance audits, building capacity in HR and management, early intervention in disputes, seeking legal consultation, and fostering employee engagement. In summary, understand the legal framework, adhere to procedural fairness, ensure valid reasons for actions, maintain proper documentation, apply consistency, and respect employee rights throughout all disciplinary processes. We have reached the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. For further information, please contact us.